All right, so welcome everyone to the Career Center's Workshop Wednesdays. This week's topic is tips for applying to jobs online. My name is Annie Curtis. I'm a career advisor at the East Campus when we're on campus, but right now I'm the career advisor of the Career Center Online. So for tips for applying to jobs online, obviously we are more in a virtual setting than ever. And so there's a lot of different places where you can submit your resume, but a lot of times we might submit our resume and not get a lot of traction on it. We maybe aren't getting as many calls as we would want, or aren't getting the relevant kind of calls that we would hope for when submitting our resume. And that may be just because we're not submitting our resume to the best places. So here are a number of different places where you can submit your resume online. It includes online search engines, LinkedIn, company's website, recruiters' web pages, hiring managers' email inbox, or the Valencia's job navigator. So these are different places where you can create accounts, get notifications on up-to-date jobs, or send your application in. And be prepared to be contacted by any place you submit your resume. So this is a good time to remind you to set up a professional voicemail, because a lot of times if you don't have your voicemail set up, people won't even leave a message. So they want to be able to confirm it's you. So set up a professional voicemail and make sure you have a professional email account as well. So not all of these places are created equally as far as being able to get your resume seen in front of a hiring manager. So I'm going to break down each of these a little bit more and highlight the important things that are going to be involved in submitting your resume. So before you submit your resume, there are some key things that you want to be able to do, some edits you want to make to your resume to make sure that some really important information is visible. So in lots of research that's been done by career development organizations, they find that hiring managers really only look at your resume for about 20 seconds to 30 seconds in the initial review. So if it comes in front of them, they're really looking for job titles, the company that you're working for, and the dates of employment. So both of these resumes here have legible contact information. They have legible titles, company, and dates of employment. They're really easy to see on the resume. Equally over here, you can see the job, title, company, and dates of employment really easily. And then we can also see those skills and keywords legible. So you either have a skills section, like each of these resumes has, or you include it in your experience. And you want to include keywords. We'll be talking about keywords a lot today in this presentation, so get used to hearing that word. And then you also want to have that contact information really visible. And one thing that I want to say about the contact information is that when I was working as a recruiter, I saw this a lot where a beautiful resume would come across my desk, but as it went through the submission process, their information got lost because they put it in a header on their resume or embedded somewhere else that wasn't visible to my eye. And so I wasn't able to contact this person because their contact information was lost. So just make sure it's in the body of your resume somewhere, very clearly visible, and that somebody can reach out to you if they see your resume. So make sure they're easy, visible. Don't bury important information at the bottom of your resume or lost in confusing formatting. So make sure that your, again, job titles, companies, skills, keywords, all of those are at the top of your resume. And then a really nice tip is actually that a hard-hitting professional summary can really capture a manager's attention. So here on these resumes, it has a profile section, as well as this little professional summary section. So those are going to be hugely important for capturing the attention of a hiring manager or a recruiter to show them exactly what it is that you're doing, what you've done, and what it is you want to get out of this resume. So that section can actually give you a lot of leverage in this process. So be sure, again, to include these important things in your resume before you even consider submitting them to an online job posting. So online search engines are obviously the first place that a lot of people think of when they think about the online job search. Search engines are a great place to begin researching what sort of positions are out there, but your resume can frequently get lost in these giant databases. So really what online search engines are good for are for researching what sort of positions are out there. Some places like Indeed, Glassdoor, Google Jobs, LinkedIn, or companies' social media sites can be a great place to start this research on what sort of positions are active, hiring, or potentially hiring in the future. So Indeed and Glassdoor are especially great places. Glassdoor can show you company reviews, can kind of give you an idea of how reputable the company is, because online search engines, unfortunately, can include a lot of job postings that aren't really active, maybe aren't connected to a company that's super verifiable. So those are kinds of things that you want to be able to check up on a place like Glassdoor. And then, of course, Google Jobs, LinkedIn, and social media can also show you up-to-date information on what sort of jobs are available. But again, I wouldn't necessarily recommend sending your job or your application and your resume directly to an online search engine, because once you do, it becomes public access to almost anyone on the internet. So you can get a lot of calls from places that completely aren't relevant to you, and then you end up getting a little annoyed with the job application process. And you never want to let that happen, because the job application process can be frustrating enough as it is. So we definitely want to be able to handle the process a little more and control the process a little more of who your resume is being seen by. But online search engines, like I said, can show you what sort of jobs are out there, and they can also give you great practice in reviewing job postings for highlighting keywords. So here's an example of a junior Java developer post that was on Indeed. I just stole it from here and posted in this presentation. So it has different qualifications included in here. So when you're reviewing a job posting, you really want to be able to highlight the post for keywords like skills. So this has experience in management, development, and maintenance of computer programs, technologies, Java applications development, certifications. They want the CompTIA Security Plus certification, education, undergraduate degree or associate's degree, and then experience, so assisting analysts or designers, kind of the important qualifications that are included in the position. So you really want to highlight these things when going through the job posting, and then being sure when you actually apply for the job to include those important keywords on your resume. And you always want to apply on the company site. You don't actually want to put your resume, like I said, on that online search engine. So make sure that if you see the job posting on Indeed or Google or something like that, you always confirm that it's on the company's website and apply there. So the reason why it's better to apply on company websites is because obviously it's a little more controlled. It's likely going to be seen more by a hiring manager, but they also use applicant tracking systems the same way that any other hiring process, digital hiring process, is going to. So these systems scan your resume. They do that initial screening to make sure that your resume includes those keywords that need to be included for the job posting. So include as many keywords in your skills and experience sections as relevant. And this is why it's really important to be able to tailor your resume for every position you apply for. Because again, as many keywords that are relevant to the job posting will more likely get your resume seen by that hiring manager. So this is a much better place to submit that resume than the online search engine. So you're going to almost always want to submit on the company website, but still including all of those keywords that are in the job posting. So connecting with recruiters is another excellent way to be able to introduce some personalization into the job application process. Digital, just blind applying through company websites can be a little difficult, and like I said, can add some frustration to the job application process where there doesn't necessarily need to be. So connecting with recruiters, who are that third-party mediator between you and the hiring manager, they handle the bulk applicant screening process. They do that initial review of resumes, and then they send on the resumes that they think are going to be the best candidates for that job. So I've listed some different Orlando recruiters here. There are some third-party recruiters that work specifically on their own. They're their own company, and they work with tons of different companies in the Orlando area. And so there are tech recruiters, recruiters in medical, healthcare industries, all sorts of things. So connecting with some of these recruiters can help you get connected with the current jobs. Hiring managers look to recruiters a lot, honestly, on that first screening to be able to see what the best candidates are. So having a recruiter on your side can be really helpful in getting your resume in front of a hiring manager and also getting a first round interview. So like I said, here's some Orlando recruiters listed. These are some very popular ones that I've worked with in the past who have been positive with the different candidates. So really all they do is handle your resume, make sure your resume is tailored well to the job application, and then, like I said, help you kind of get in for that first round of interviews. So they're great kind of hand-holding into that first round of the hiring process. But companies also have internal recruiters. So there are easy ways to be able to connect with recruiters on LinkedIn. So we'll demonstrate this in LinkedIn in a little bit, but I did want to insert this page here so that you could really kind of see the step-by-step process of connecting with a company's recruiters on LinkedIn. So if you go to a company's page, they have this tabs on the side over here where you can see about, jobs, people, and videos. So if you select people, then you can search the employees by title, keyword, location, different different criteria. So you can search by job title and then request to connect. So here I search recruiters or talent acquisition specialist, and you can connect with a message saying, hi, I saw this position posted on your website. I want to be able to connect and learn a little bit more about it, as well as show you my qualifications for the position. And I am more than certain that that recruiter would be happy to connect with you. As a recruiter in the past, I worked for Kforce, and I was working regularly with technology professionals who were looking for new positions. And it was really exciting when somebody was reaching out to me and offering their qualifications for a position. So definitely connect with recruiters as often as you can, sending them messages, requesting to connect, and learn more about positions. So we'll talk a little bit more now about the value of LinkedIn in the digital job search process. So you can not only connect with recruiters, but you can keep up to date on open positions and then also network with hiring managers. LinkedIn is like the professional social media site. So it's really going to be helpful in having those conversations with a live person that can help you connect with these job opportunities and hopefully get your foot in the door. So you can go find jobs on LinkedIn in specific companies by searching for the company's LinkedIn page, selecting jobs on the side, just like you did for people, and then review and save open positions that you're interested in. So these are usually pretty up to date from what I've seen. And then they also connect you directly to the company's website. So when you're reviewing a job posting on LinkedIn, don't forget that you always want to apply on the company website, but you can use it to highlight the job post for keywords. And then you can also review potential connections that are associated with the job position. So here it lists 3 people at Advent Health Central Florida that also worked at Valencia College, and then 10 people at Advent Health Central Florida that studied at Rollins College. Obviously, I work at Valencia and I'm an alumni of Rollins College, so that's why it offers these connections to me. So if I connect with them, they can provide insight into the company and the job position, and they can also potentially be a positive reference down the line in the hiring process. So this is a really, really easy way to get connected with people that are really in your network already. LinkedIn shows you who's already in your network that's associated with that job position. So if you sent them a message, you could say, hi, I see that we're both alumni of Valencia College. I see that you're working at Advent Health, and I would love to learn a little bit more about how you came into your position. You can ask them a little bit more about their experience and hopefully gain some insight from that. So this is a really excellent tool to be able to use in the job application process. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and demonstrate LinkedIn. All right, so on LinkedIn, as I was saying, you can go to the business that you're interested in. So we've been using Advent Health just as an example. So if I went to Advent Health, and I recently discovered actually that with huge companies like this, they may even have smaller pages for their regional industries. So for Advent Health Central Florida, I just recently discovered they have their own page within Advent Health. So you can always look by regions as well. So again, we'll demonstrate how to connect with people first. So on the side here, we have the people. And it shows that there are 772 employees that list Advent Health Central Florida as their employer. So you can filter it by where they studied. So if you wanted to connect specifically with Valencia College alumni, you can do that. And again, this is a way just to kind of add a little personalization to the process. So these are people that work at Advent Health Central Florida that were also Valencia alumni. So for instance, if you were interested in becoming a radiography technician at Advent Health, you could potentially connect with the lead radiology technologist at Advent Health Central Florida, send a message asking about how they got to where they are. They potentially graduated from Valencia's program, the same program that you're in at this moment. So connecting with them can give you a really great insight. And then, like I said, also a positive referral down the line. If you make a positive impression, they're most likely going to mention it to their managers. But you can also search, like I said, by keywords. You want to look for something like talent acquisition, or recruiter, things like that. So there does happen to be one CP recruiter specialist that works at Advent Health Central Florida. You can always expand your search as far as you would like, but these are just examples of ways to drill down to really tailor that search to connect with the relevant people. So then we'll look at the jobs function. So like I said, with the jobs, you can search by job title or keyword. It'll have the recently posted jobs. You can search through here. So we'll look at Care Advocate, Winter Park. So it'll have all of the information about the job in the job description here. So again, you'll want to be sure to highlight those, make sure to include those keywords in your resume. And then here you can save the job if you want to maybe apply a little later. Maybe you just need to brush up those keywords on your resume, tailor it a little bit, but you don't want to lose the job position. You can save it and LinkedIn will save it for you. And then you can also hit the apply and that will take you to the company website. And then, as I mentioned before, there will be people who are connected, that are connected to this job position. So if you select that, it's going to show you, people that also worked at Valencia College and then work currently at Advent Health. So you have a company in common. So if, for instance, I wanted to learn a little bit more about what Rose does as an education technology coordinator, I could reach out by connecting and sending a message and asking her a little bit more about her position. So these are all really great ways to be able to target people very specifically in your field, to be able to, like I said, connect with the people who are going to help you into the jobs that you want.